Hey Carla, I'm sorry to ask, but I'm going to go out drinking after work, so would you mind making sure that dinner is ready for me when I get home?
Oh, is there some kind of party or something going on tonight, Victor?
Well, since tomorrow's our wedding, I figured this is my last chance to enjoy the single life, you know? So Tom arranged for a couple of other guys to come along, and we're going to have a big boys' night out.
Oh, I should have guessed it was Tom. Well, in that case, you have to go out, don't you? Actually, now that you say that though, I was going to tell you that I have dinner plans with Samantha tonight as well.
Oh, so you're going out with some friends tonight as well then? Or just Samantha? Either way, it's been forever since the two of you hung out.
It really has. It seems like she's always so busy all of the time these days. This was her first open day to meet me for dinner in like months. So you can have your boys' night and we'll have our girls' night. And then tomorrow, you and I are getting married. Actually, it seems that Samantha has already made reservations at some kind of fancy restaurant for us.
Well then, sound like a fun night then. I guess that means that we'll both be eating tonight though, right? So let's make sure we don't get too messed up before the big day, yeah?
Yes, I agree. I would hate to be hungover at my own wedding. And you make sure to take care too. I know how much Tom likes to drink, but you don't have to keep up with him.
That's a good point. I'll have fun, but I won't go crazy. Sound good? Anyways, we're all going to meet up right after work, so I won't be getting back home until quite late.
Got it. Okay then. Hope you have fun. Hey Carla, are you there? I actually just woke up right now. I'm really sorry to do this so suddenly, but I'm afraid I won't be able to make it to your wedding today. I mean, it's happening in 10 minutes. There's no way I can get ready in that time. I was wondering when I was going to hear from you. I was starting to get worried, but you were really just sleeping in? Where were you last night? I waited at the restaurant for forever, but you never came, and you weren't picking up your phone either. I know. I'm so sorry about that. I actually totally forgot we had plans last night. I ended up going out with some other people to drink somewhere else. Are you serious? You really forgot that we made plans together? But you were the one who invited me out in the first place. And you made these plans with me the morning of the night. We were supposed to meet up. How could you forget something like that? I'm sorry, but these things just happen, you know? I've been so busy with work and sometimes things just fly out of my head to make room for new information. So, yeah, so sorry that I ended up standing you up last night. That was my bad. I know that you've been really busy lately, but does that mean you're really not going to be coming to my wedding today? I'm already over yesterday, but you're my friend and I really wanted you to be there for me today. I know, but how am I supposed to get ready for a wedding in 10 minutes? I literally just woke up. There is no way that I'm going to be able to make it on time. You know, you can show up late. I really don't mind. Just as long as you end up making it for any of the wedding, I'll be happy. I really wanted you to be here to help me celebrate this moment in my life. Oh, really? I guess I just didn't really think that we were that close of friends. I mean, I certainly don't feel like dragging myself out of bed just to show up to your wedding this late. Wait, what? What do you mean? I mean that I'm with a guy right now and I don't feel like kicking him out to rush to your wedding. Besides, that would be totally rude to this really cute guy. No, I mean, do you not consider me a good friend, Samantha? Also, is this guy you're with right now the reason that you canceled our plans last night? No, he's just some cutie I picked up at the bar last night, but I didn't invite him out or anything like that. Well, I say some cutie, but I guess I should just say Victor, huh? Man, he really is a good-looking guy, though. Wait, Victor? What do you mean by that? Aw, Carla, I'm afraid to say that neither I nor your fiancé is going to be showing up to your wedding today. In fact, you might as well cancel the whole thing right now, because I slept with your fiancé. Hold on, I don't understand. What's going on here? What do you mean you slept with Victor? I mean just that. I took Victor home with me last night, and we had sex. Has no one really even noticed that our fiancé isn't there 10 minutes before things are supposed to start? I really am so sorry that I had to go and do that. Poor Victor had a bit too much to drink last night, and he's been in the bathroom since this morning. You can call him all you want, but I doubt he's going to notice or want to answer in the state that he's in. What? So you're really telling the truth about all of this then? I thought that Victor went out drinking with a couple of guy friends. Why would they let him go with you? It doesn't make any sense. Well, he was out with friends when I just happened to end up at the same bar. It really was all a coincidence. I guess we both just got so caught up with each other that we forgot all about you. But yeah, I walked into the bar and saw Victor there, walked up to his group and asked if I could join in. I mean, there was no way I could let a chance like this go by. A chance like that? What do you even mean by that? Well, the truth is that I've always been attracted to Victor. He's handsome and tall, and I hear he's filthy rich too. He's the perfect catch. I knew that I had to make him mine if it was the last thing I did. I don't even know what to say. And to think I ran into him on the day before his wedding. Sometimes the universe really does love you. I think that Victor must have felt the same about me since after he drank a ton, he told me that he always liked me. Victor told you that he liked you? Are you kidding me? Of course I'm not. He said that, and I knew then that I had the green light. I mean, he never ever used to notice me. Like, do you remember the barbecue that he had last summer that everyone showed up to? I think that was when I first fell in love with him, even if he had no idea who I was. You have got to be kidding me, right? No, I mean, that was the first time that I ever had seen someone so handsome. I knew right then that I just had to make him mine. So I stuck around until his friends had left Victor alone at the bar, and then I invited him back to my place. And then, well, I'm sure you can guess what happens after that. I don't even want to imagine it. How can this be happening? I had no idea that you felt so strongly about him. But how could you do this to me on the day before I was supposed to marry him? Well, you were going to find out sooner or later, so better that I told you than someone else. But you really didn't think anything was up when your fiancé still hasn't ever show up? I mean, you've tried calling him when he wouldn't answer, right? What more proof do you need that I'm telling the truth about being with him right now? Don't you get it? He chose me over you! No, that can't be. I refuse to believe it. I knew that you would act like this. But are you really even that surprised? I mean, it's obvious that I'm the cuter one out of us both. I still don't understand how someone hasn't snatched me up yet, much less how you were going to get married before me. But now, I'm going to marry my perfect man, and I'll have the best husband out of all my friends. How can you even say something like that? I mean, were you really never happy that I was going to be getting married? Why would I ever be happy about something like that, huh? I was always hoping that something was going to happen and that the engagement was going to fall apart. We might have been good friends in college, but lately, all you've been doing is really getting on my nerves. Unlike you, I actually did something with my life after college. Ever since you left town for the big city though, you are always acting like you're way better than us poor little townies. Well, how does it feel to be on the other end of this now, What do you mean? Was I really acting that way? I promise that I never meant to. You think that just because you found a good job that pays well, that you could just lord it all over the rest of us, huh? You brought your expensive personal trainer, your designer makeup, your fancy clothes, all to run in our face what poor little bumpkins we are, huh? Do you really think that that's what I was trying to do? It was never about that. I was only ever trying to be the person that I wanted to be. But I never ever was trying to put anyone down while doing that. Oh, please. You really thought that you could escape your roots. I know who you are deep down. You can try to be yourself all you want. There's only one true you, and it's inescapable. And it's the fact that you never could realize that made me so mad. But that's not right. You've got it all wrong. Oh, please. You think I'm going to buy that when you dared try to get married before me? It was someone who's just my type too? If you thought that I was going to let you get away with that, you're dead wrong. And now I've done it. I've ruined your wedding and stopped it from ever happening. You know what I think, Samantha? I think that you made plans and then canceled last minute on purpose. And I don't think that you just happened to bump into Victor either. I think that this was your plan all along. Do you really think a sweet innocent girl like me would be capable of doing something so devious? Because you would be right on the money if you did. And now I've gotten what I always wanted. You're right. In fact, I'm crushed about everything that you've just said. And the fact that you came up with a whole plot to try and steal Victor from me. I had no idea you wanted to sabotage my wedding so badly. Well, you better wipe up your tears and tell everyone that the wedding is off. After all, you can't have a wedding with no groom. You better start packing up to go home because it's all over. I won. Except that my fiancé is standing right here next to me. Wait, what do you mean? I mean, the wedding isn't cancelled and everything is going according to schedule. But anyways, have a nice life, I guess. Glad to know that you were never really my friend. I'm sorry it had to end like this, but I'm glad to know the truth. Now, hold on just a second. What do you mean that everything is going according to schedule? And how can your fiancé be standing there next to you if he's here at my place right now? You're not making sense at all. Well, maybe I can explain this. Since I am, after all, right here with Carla. Wait, what is this? I just think that this is all going to be explained easier if I do the talking. I actually really did have a fun time talking and drinking with you last night, but I never had any intentions of marrying you. And I also never ever told you that I liked you. What's going on here? Is this some kind of joke or something? This is Victor, right? I don't get it. Why are you texting me from Carla's number? You're supposed to be here in my room right now. What's happening? I got you drunk last night and you told me that you've always liked me. You asked me out on a date. I'm afraid that you were mixing me up for one of my friends. I was the other guy sitting at the table. Wait, I slept with one of your friends? Yeah, it was my buddy Tom. And you were the one who told him that you always liked him. Do you really not remember any of this at all? What do you mean? Of course I remember. I remember you telling me that you always liked me. You did it in a bar in front of your friends and you were really, really serious. That's the whole reason why I lied about inviting Carla out in the first place. I mean, I did think that it was weird running into you all dressed up at a bar where we were at. Especially since Carla told me that she had plans to grant dinner with you that night. I got even more suspicious when you started ordering really strong drinks for me. So I went up to the bar and asked them for water down anything they gave me. You did? But I didn't know about that. Yeah, I did it in a way that you wouldn't noticed. Except I didn't do the same for Tom, and he just kept getting drunker and drunker. And then by the end of the night, you two were practically all over each other. But you weren't the one that I was all over? I thought that it was you. Well, it wasn't. It was my buddy that you were flirting with the whole time. You confessed to him, and he said that he always liked you. But no, that can't be right. I swear that I said all that to you. Well, you didn't. And I went home before it got too late since it was clear that you two were wanting some time alone together. This can't be happening. I was wondering if Tom was going to be okay to show up today. I thought he might have brought you along as his +1 or something. I tried calling to make sure he was okay, but when I didn't pick up, I was wondering if he was still at your place or something. So then, you really mean that you and I didn't spend last night together? And that I really just invited your friend over instead? Are you really asking me that? Why don't you just go look at the guy that you brought home and see for yourself? But he's in the bathroom puking since before I woke up. He drank too much last night and now he won't come out. Yeah, that sounds about right. He never really knew his limits when it comes to drinking. And I'm sure he was in the mood to drink even more after you told him how much you liked him. Anyways, once he's out puking his guts out, you should ask him. Tell him he owes me a bottle of something nice for missing the wedding too, okay? Alright then, Carla and I are off to getting married. Carla, are you there? I'm in big trouble. The man in my bathroom finally walked out, and it wasn't actually Victor. I asked who he was, and he said he was Victor's friend Tom. Wow, he just walked out of the bathroom now? The wedding is almost over at this point. You mean that you two really got married? Uh-huh, duh. Why wouldn't we have? I mean, the bride and groom were here, and besides a couple last-minute cancellations, all the guests arrived too. It was sad seeing some of the chairs empty, but Victor and I just hoped it meant that you two were still enjoying getting to know each other. What are you talking about? I'm not going out with Tom. You think I want to be a drunk like him? But you two were all over each other last night. You even told him that you loved him, and then you invited him back to your place as well. I thought you two were going to go official any day now. I only said that because I thought that I was talking to Victor. I thought that I had stolen your husband away from you, but I got the wrong guy. I don't care about his stupid friend. I wanted Victor. As soon as I learned who he really was, I kicked that Tom guy out on the street and told him to get lost. You kicked Tom out of your place? Of course I did. Why would I want him around if he was never my target in the first place? I mean, he wasn't even good looking. Do you really mean all that? I don't think that's fair for you to be putting down someone just because you're upset that you made a drunken mistake. No, I finally remembered seeing Tom at the BBQ last summer. I remembered always thinking that he was a creepy little guy. You really mean that? Of course I do. He's so basic and weird and just... why would I ever want to be with someone like him? I would rather be single for the rest of my life. Do you get it now? Wow, you have some strong feelings about this, huh? That's right. He's weird and he doesn't even have a good job. So I just don't see any benefits of being with someone like him. That's why I threw him out. And you really think that you're such a great catch? Because Tom is actually the son of a really famous CEO. But you really threw him out of your place? Wait, what did you just say? He's the son of a famous CEO? That's right. In fact, he's even been in commercials for his family's company before. He's the son of that real big estate company with billboards all over town. Hold on a second. Are you kidding me? Not at all. And to think that you were so close to getting to go out with him. Even Victor can't believe how you fumbled that. You made a lot of big mistakes this past 24 hours, huh? Oh, crap. This is really bad. I had no idea who he really was. I need to get him back right now. I'll tell him I was just hungover and I didn't mean what I said. Then he'll come back and everything will be okay. Yeah, I really don't think that's going to work. This is your story of how you almost landed a big one. But what should I do? This is all just one big mistake. I didn't mean to. Please, you have to help me. You're married to his best friend. You can fix this for me. Sorry, but I really don't have any good reasons why I should help you. You can't be serious, right? I mean, you said that we aren't really even friends, so I just don't see why I would. No, come on. You know that I didn't really mean that. I was just joking around. You can make up all the excuses you want, but I'm not going to be having any of it. Hope you have a nice life. And if you do somehow get Tom back, please don't try and hang out with us ever. But why not? It's really a shame that things had to end up this way between us, but I guess sometimes the sound of one door closing is really just another door opening. After that, Samantha tried her best to get Tom to take her back, but he wasn't having any of it. Once he learned that she only wanted him because she thought he was Victor, he lost all interest in her. He even blamed her for missing our wedding and said that he never wanted to see her again. It wasn't long before everyone knew about what Samantha had done. Tom come over to Victor and I's house to formally apologize for missing out the wedding. To make up for it, he agreed to pay for whatever hotel we decided to book our honeymoon at.
Thank you for watching all the way until the end. If you felt good after watching this video, please like the video. If not, please leave a comment and give us your feedback. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Your comments and likes help this channel grow. We hope you enjoy our other stories as well.
I thought that Jason only had eyes for me. I never in a million years thought that he would be stolen away from me by someone who I thought was my friend. Portia, what on earth are you talking about right now? And don't you try and play dumb with me. I know it was you, you terrible, awful woman. This is all your fault. You're the one that stole my man away from me, and I hate you for it. Portia, I literally have no idea at all what you're talking about right now. You're just being ridiculous. How can you say that when Jason said that he was going to be marrying you? I thought that him and I were going to end up married. How did this happen? How can he just leave me like this? You know what he did? He showed up at my work all of a sudden and he told me that he found someone else and that he was going to marry this other girl. And I know for a fact that you are that other girl, aren't you, Tammy? Portia, please, you really need to calm down. I'm trying to tell you that I have no idea what you're talking about. But I know for a fact that I certainly didn't steal your fiancé. I mean, you do know that I'm going to be married to my own fiancé, don't you? But you really just mean that you're going to be marrying Jason and not me, right? Do you really think you're going to fool me right now? I know that it was you who Jason left me to be with. I am telling you that I don't know who it is, but it isn't me. Please, can't we just calm down and try to talk about this rationally? I mean, I didn't even know that you were engaged to begin with. This is the first time that I'm hearing about this at all. Well, of course you hadn't heard of this. That's because I was hiding my relationship with him from everyone. I knew that he was too handsome and that if people found out that we were together, that there would be trouble. Wow, is this Jason guy really that good looking? He might as well be a model. Not only that, but he's also really smart. Basically, he's the whole package all in one. So I knew that if I were ever to introduce him to my friends, that they would get jealous and try to steal him from me. That's why I made sure that nobody knew that we were dating at all. So I want to know just how you found out, huh? But I didn't even find out. For the last time, I had no idea that you were even engaged. But I do feel really sorry for you that you were, and for some reason he felt like it was appropriate to leave you like that. But at the end of the day, that is business between you and him, and I really don't think I should be a part of it. And since I don't even know what he looks like, I don't understand how I could have plotted to steal him from you. Do you really expect me to believe that? I'm sure that you were always keeping an eye on me, just waiting to see what kind of man I'd get with so that you could steal him from me. And here I thought that you actually wanted to be my friend, but now you're running around town with my fiancé. Portia, are you even reading any of what I'm trying to tell you right now? I mean, I had no idea that you and my Jason worked at the same place, but now I see that you were just using your job to get close to him. Well, just know that I am never ever going to forgive you for what you've done to me. Hold on a second, you mean Jason from sales is your fiancé? Does that mean that you're telling me you're engaged to Jason Miller? That's right, or I guess I was engaged to him, but now you've gone and stolen him from me. I thought that he and I were going to have a future together. Well, I guess I do see why you would want to hide a guy like Jason from others. He's tall, handsome, funny, and he really is a smart guy too. I think he's a really popular guy just around the office. You see, I was right. You finally come out and admit it. I know that it was you. You ruined our perfect relationship. You know, he and I never even got in a fight. I guess I was wrong for thinking that I could ever count on you as a friend. Portia, you are completely taking what I'm saying out of context. I had no idea that I was working at the same place as your fiancé. But I really want you to know that I had no intentions with Jason at all. I mean, I'm literally engaged myself. You don't know what you're talking about at all. You're not the one who was left by your fiancé for another woman. I just can't believe that it happened so suddenly. I just don't even know what to think. It isn't fair. But the worst part is how you're still lying to me about this when I saw you two having lunch together on a date with my own eyes. You two looked like you were just having so much fun talking with each other, you know that? Are you sure that we weren't just having lunch together, like two normal people might? I mean, our departments are working on a project together, so we do see each other around the office quite a bit. And I don't really think it's all that weird that we would be eating lunch together. I can't believe that you're really going to stick with this lie, even though I caught you red-handed. You're really going to just double down and keep trying to trick me? Why even bother trying to trick me when I know the truth? You know that you aren't going to fool me, right? I know that it's you. I never ever should have trusted you. I should have known that you were trouble from the very start. Please, Portia, why don't you trust what I'm trying to tell you? Why don't I trust you? How about because I thought that you were my friend and now you've gone and betrayed me? I am never ever going to forget this, or you. Just know that from here on out, you're on my list. And I am not going to let you get away with this plot to marry my fiancé. Hey, Jason, are you there? I'm really sorry to be bothering you on your day off. And I'm even more sorry, but do you think that I could ask you a kind of private question?
Oh, hey Tommy, how's it going? Yeah, I guess you can ask me about my private life, if that's what you mean.
Great, because the thing is that I heard you were engaged to be married, but I also heard that you've recently changed your fiancé?
Wait, what? Sorry, I'm not following you. What exactly do you mean that I've changed my fiancé?
I just mean that you were engaged to marry one woman, but then you broke up with her and now you're engaged to marry someone else?
Tommy, I'm really sorry, but I've got no idea what you're talking about. Besides, I'm not the kind of guy to be bouncing around from fiancé to fiancé like that. The woman I'm engaged to right now is the same girlfriend that I've had since I was in college.
I see. Well, that's really good to hear. To be honest, I knew there was no way that you would do something like that.
Well, I'm glad you weren't actually accusing me of doing that, but then why did you even ask about it in the first place? Because this is a really weird topic for you to be bringing up to me, if I'm being honest. I thought we had more trust in each other after all the work we've been doing together.
You're right. I'm sorry, Jason. It isn't that I don't trust you or anything like that. The truth is that I actually was getting some strange messages from an old friend who was claiming to be dating you.
You talked to someone who said that we were dating?
Well, she said that you two were going out, but that you dumped her suddenly, and this is after you two were supposed to have gotten engaged. Anyways, this friend was telling me all about it because she was accusing me of stealing you away from her. This friend of mine thinks that you left her for me and that now you and I are going to get married.
Hold on a second, are you serious about that? That's crazy. Who's this friend? How long have you known her?
Well, it's this woman named Portia, and we've actually known each other since we were both in middle school.
Wait a sec, you know Portia? Tommy, I don't know what to tell you, but Portia and I were never together. In fact, she's more like a stalker to me than anything else. She's actually been responsible for so many problems in my life.
Hold on a second. You're telling me that Portia has been stalking you?
That's exactly what I'm saying. There's this cafe that I really like going to, and Portia is actually a barista there. I would always go to this cafe and her and I would exchange a few words now and then. But I guess she was falling in love with me that whole time. And even though I had no idea this was happening, in her head we must have started going out with each other.
Are you serious? That's just crazy.
Well, it happens more often than you think. I mean, I'm not blind. I know that a lot of people around the office think I'm handsome and stuff. And this isn't the first time I've been liked by someone without really liking them back. This is the first time that someone's ever taken it this far with me. And now things have just gotten so bad that I just don't know how to respond.
But then how in the world did Portia manage to think that you and her were dating?
That's what I want to know, because I've only ever tried to be polite to her, but I was never flirting with her. And we certainly never said a word to each other about our love lives or anything like that. But I guess she just had it in her head that we were dating. Even so, I still have no clue about where the talk of marriage is coming from.
Jason, I am so sorry that she's been giving you so much trouble. I really had no idea that any of this was going on.
Well, it has been, and it's honestly been driving me crazy, but the fact of the matter is I'm already engaged. At this point, I don't want anything to do with Portia at all. I've even been avoiding going to that cafe.
I see, but she seems to think that I've stolen you away from her. She told me that you showed up to the cafe one day and told her that you were engaged to marry someone else. And for some reason, she seemed to think it was me.
That's true. I did go in there one day just to try and make things clear with her, but I guess she took it the complete wrong way.
I really am so sorry you've been having to deal with all of this, but Portia's kind of been like this ever since we were both young. She would always fall head over heels for some boy and announce that they were dating when they hadn't hardly even talked.
Well, it sounds to me like that little habit of hers has only gotten worse over the years then. How did those boys you went to school with handle her? Because I guess Portia still seems to think that we're together.
Well, a lot of what they did was just ignore her and try to avoid her. Basically, their plan would be to wait until she found someone new to obsess over.
I see. So basically you think it might be possible to just wait this out and see if she loses interest in me? I guess I can try on that. See if it works.
Sure thing, and I guess I can try to talk to her about this again and see if I can't convince her about my intentions. I really can't believe that you're doing this to me, you know that? I can't believe that not only did you steal my fiancé away from me, but that now you two are actually going to be getting married. But just know that I am not going to let you get away with this. I am going to ruin your marriage. And then you both will know the cost of doing what you did to me. Portia, I was wondering when I was going to hear from you again. I tried reaching out to you after you first started messaging me about this, but you never responded to my messages. But what I wanted to tell you was that you and Jason are not and have never been dating. What are you talking about? How dare you say something like that to me? No, it's true. I talked to Jason all about this. He told me that he was nothing but a regular customer at the cafe where you work. I guess he was nice to you in your interactions, and that's why you thought he was flirting with you. But you took things way too far when you thought that it meant the two of you were dating, to say nothing about being engaged. This proves that you have no idea what you're talking about. Of course the two of us are dating. How dare you come to me with this drivel? Did you think this was going to work? Or do you just not care at all about what you say anymore since you two are about to get married today? Get married today? What are you talking about this time, Portia? Oh, please, don't try and fool me. I already told you that I wasn't going to let you get away with getting married. That's why I'm going to show up to your wedding in my own wedding dress and completely steal the show from you. Then I am going to steal back my man in front of your very eyes, and we are going to use what was supposed to be your wedding as our own. And then everyone there is going to know all about how you tried to steal my fiancé away from me. Now, hold on just 1 second. Are you telling me that you're at Jason's wedding right now? Of course I am, although I don't know why you said Jason's when it's both of yours. Portia, I am being really serious right now. You have got to get out of there. Something really bad could happen if you interrupt their wedding dressed like that. You really think that you can scare me off like that? It isn't going to work. I can't believe that you think you can boss me around after what you've done to me. You're a terrible friend and I have no reason to listen to you. The only reason I'm here today is all just to steal Jason back from you. This is how I get my revenge on a fake friend like you. You are really taking this whole thing way too far, Portia. Sounds to me like you're finally starting to get how serious I am about this. Too bad it's way too late for you now. Well, if you must know, I had my wedding yesterday. Wait, what? What do you mean by that? I mean that if you were hoping to ruin my wedding, you're too late. I got married yesterday. What in the world are you talking about? I know for a fact that you're getting married today. I heard all about it. I know that you and Jason are going to be getting married today. I see what's going on here now. Jason is getting married today to his fiancée. I got married to my husband now yesterday. Get it? But, wait, I don't understand. So you're telling me that you and Jason broke up then? Portia, for the millionth time, Jason and I are not and never were dating each other. I'm just his coworker, and that is it. I talked to Jason about this, and he told me he's with the same girl he's been with since college. And that's the woman that he's marrying today. But that can't be right. I mean, I saw you two having lunch together and laughing and smiling. How can you try and tell me that you're just coworkers? Because that's all we are, and we got along well together. Do you really not ever enjoy talking with your coworkers? Besides, I remember the day you must be talking about, and the reason we were so happy is because we were both talking about our wedding plans. You mean that's what was going on? That's right. We were laughing because I was going for a really small wedding and Jason said he was trying to go all out for his. So then, you're telling me that I've got this whole thing wrong? You two were never dating in the first place? That is what I've been trying to tell you this whole time, Portia. It was all in your head. But that's not it. That also meant that Jason and I were never really a thing. I thought that he really loved me. And just what made you think that in the first place? Well, he would always come in whenever I was working there, and he would always tell me thanks for the coffee. But why would he be coming to my cafe if he didn't love me? So you mean that he never even said once that he loved you or anything like that? I already knew what was going on just by the energy he was giving out. It was written all over his face. You really think that? Of course. And there was this time I gave him a cookie for free. He looked so happy, and then when he got up to leave, he said it was great and thanked me for it. But I was the one that baked those cookies in the morning, so that means he likes my cooking. What do you call that then, huh? That was when I figured we were engaged. It was his way of asking me to cook for him forever. Wow, I just don't even know what to say about that. The sheer mental gymnastics required to go from a cookie to engagement, it's almost impressive. But I guess that means that I was wrong about you. Now I realize it was another girl he was with this whole time. Which is why I'm still going to go through with my plan. You mean that you're really going to try and sabotage Jason's wedding? I really don't think you should do that. You're really going to regret it if you do. Tammy, what the heck? Did you know that Jason's parents owned their own real estate company? I had no idea that his parents were that rich. Wait a second, you mean you didn't even know that about your so-called fiancé? And to think you thought you two were engaged. But you don't understand. When I tried to barge into his wedding, I was basically caught right away by the security there. They took me to a changing room, and then Jason showed up and he looked really upset. But then even my boss from work showed up. Wow, you mean that Jason was so upset about how you'd been acting that he even brought your boss in to talk to you? No, it's not that at all. My boss was actually invited to Jason's wedding. I guess he knows Jason's parents or something through their business. But when they heard about what I tried to do, they said that they couldn't do business with my boss anymore. So then my boss begged them for forgiveness and told them he had no idea one of his employees was doing this. He begged them to let him keep his store. But Jason's parents refused, so now my boss is trying to sue me for damages to his store. You have to help me. What are you talking about? Of course I'm not going to help you. Especially not after you tried to ruin one of the most important days of Jason's life. You're a horrible, selfish, delusional woman. We tried to warn you over and over again, but you refused to acknowledge the reality around you. But it isn't fair. I really did think that we were together. It wasn't supposed to go like this. I hope your boss does sue you, and I hope he takes you for all you've got. Your delusions have cost people enough already. After that, I heard that Portia's old boss was able to sue her for $50,000 for damages to his business and reputation. Portia was left penniless and even had to go into debt to pay it all back. After seeing how truly upset he was by Portia's behavior, Jason's parents realized their mistake and agreed to lease him his cafe space after all. Needless to say, Portia was not welcome back there. With no job and no one in her corner, Portia ran back to live with her parents. But they were both so disappointed in her and told her they were disinheriting her. I heard that she moved back to the city and is working multiple jobs trying to pay down her debt, but as far as I'm concerned, she's no longer my problem, and that's all I really care about.
Kiara, when you're finished with work today, I'd also like for you to come and clean my room, please. And not just clean it, but make it look brand new, alright?
What? Why are you asking me to do something like that now? Wait, do I even know you?
This is one of the employees for this company, Layla. I'm known as being the famous ace of this company, so you'd better get to knowing me as well. But I'm sure you already know me, even though you're just the cleaning lady here.
I see. I do happen to know who you are, actually. But how come you happen to have my number?
I'm a full-time employee here, so I'm able to find out everyone's phone numbers easily. And that even includes the cleaning lady's number. And out of all the janitors here, you happen to be the best I know of. That's why I've gotten in touch with you today to let you know that you are now in charge of cleaning my house.
Why are you expecting me to come all the way to your house to clean it for you?
That's because your job is cleaning up the offices there to maintain a fresh look for our company, right? And well, I happen to live in a company housing. In other words, that means where I live in is even considered a part of a company. That's why I'm asking you to please come here and clean my place after you finish work.
I have no idea what you're going on about there. From what I'm aware of, company housing is supposed to be maintained by you, the tenant. So please be responsible for your own room.
Excuse me? Are you going to turn away the request from a full-time employee? I'm asking you to come clean my place, so you should be well aware that you just need to shut up and come clean for me, you idiot.
What?
And it's not like I'm just any old employee either, right? I'm the ace of this company that all of the higher-ups rely on. When I'm in a good mood and get a lot of work done, the company turns an even bigger profit. So in order for me to be in a good mood and do lots of work, I need to have myself a very clean and tidy room. So cleaning my place isn't just about me, but about this company as a whole.
I'm sorry, but you can't ask me to do something like that. I never thought a day would come where I'd be asked to clean someone's house. I understand that you're an ace for this company, but you cannot use that title as a reason to ask me to do something like that.
Gosh dang it! Listening to you go on and on like that is really driving me up to the wall. I'm trying to give you something more to do with your sad life. Why won't you just be happy about taking such a wonderful job as cleaning the Ace's home for me?
What?
I totally understand that you cleaning the offices all day must mean you barely make enough money to pay the bills each month. So you should be overjoyed to see that I'm willing to give you some overtime to make a little extra cash this month. Now, the number to my place is 608, alright? Make sure you have it cleaned for me after work today.
I'm sorry, Oscar. I'm having a bit of trouble at work right now, so I'll be a bit late. Can you head into the restaurant before me?
Will do. What's this about trouble? And you never have any problems at work, right?
Today has really been a tough one for me. One of the employees here just asked me out of nowhere to go and clean their house. She actually told me that I need to clean her room when that's not even part of my job.
What? There are people like that within the company.
I told her no at first, but she just would not listen to a thing I said. She seems to think that she can do anything she wants just because she's an ace within the company. And she's told me that if her place is clean, then she'll be in a better mood to get more work done for the company, which then would lead to the company turning a larger profit. So I should be happy to go clean her place.
If that's what she thinks, then maybe she needs to be told by one of her higher-ups to clean her own dang room. If she thinks she can ask someone else to do her cleaning like that, especially when it's not even their job, then she must not have grown out of her baby stage yet.
Honestly, but the only problem for me is, according to some rumors, that employee is the daughter of one of the company's director. I don't want for any of this to turn into a much larger problem than it already is. So I'm going to clean her room just this one time, in order to get her to shut up and be happy.
So it's not just that she's claiming to be this ace employee, but she happens to have family connections like that within the company. Sometimes there are people like that in the working world.
And because of that, I'm going to have to work late today. Even though I really had important plans to go out to dinner with my son today.
I don't mind you being a little late for dinner today, Mom.
What are you talking about? It's been such a long time since the last time you and I had dinner together. And you wanted me to come out this time to see you because you're going to be getting married soon and you wanted to talk about it. I just got called for a taxi to come and get me. So I'll be there as quickly as I can for you, alright? And what the hell was all that about, Lila? What the hell did you think you were doing, pouring a bucket of water all over me like that? Do you have any idea what you've just done?
I was just helping you clean up is all. You happen to always be cleaning up things with water yourself, so I thought it would be nice to come clean you up. Don't get too upset with me for that, especially when on the day of my wedding, someone who has nothing to do with me has shown up here.
What did you say?
I want to know how you even managed to be able to get into here, because I don't ever remember inviting such a low-life cleaning lady as you to my special day. Well, now that you are drenched head to toe, I think we both know it's time for you to leave. Please make a U-turn for me and head out of here.
What is that about me being a low-life cleaning lady? I'm used to you calling me things like that from time to time in the workplace, but I never thought I'd be hearing you call me a lowlife at your own wedding. Really hurts my heart a little.
Do you think I care about you being a little bit upset over any of this? It's not my fault you're working a job that is so easy to make fun of every day.
What?
Those that become janitors never ended up going to school and are most likely mentally disabled in some capacity, right? So how am I not to make fun of your low life? Especially when comparing what you do to the ace company that I am. To me, all you are is a little roach. It would be way too difficult for me to not look down upon you because of that.
I understand that the job of being a janitor doesn't really require the greatest education or anything, and can be done by pretty much anyone. But the reason that there are janitors in the first place is because their job is a necessity. And I'd like to say that perhaps not everyone is able to do this job that I perform, especially someone like you who needs to ask me to come clean your own place for you.
What? You have no right talking to me like that. I'm the bride of this wedding, and I didn't even invite you to be here today. But because you think you can barge in here like that and start talking to me like I'm the idiot, that must mean you really are the lowest of the low.
Excuse me?
I would really like to know who let you come in here. I only invited those that are important to me from work. Wait, don't tell me that when you came to my place to clean it for me, you found the invitations and stole one for yourself. I'm sure that's what a crazy nut job like you would do.
Crazy nut job?
Now that I think about it, I've started to notice that some of my jewelry and other things from my place have disappeared. I had this one spot where I'd always put my favorite earrings, but I'm not able to find them anymore. You stole all those things from my room, right?
Why would I ever do something like that? I made sure that any jewelry that was on the floor in your room was placed right back on your jewelry stand for you. And that jewelry stand happens to be on the floor for some reason, where you're always tossing all your things, right?
Nope. I know for a fact that you have been the one stealing my jewelry, and there's nobody else to blame for it. That's something that all lowlifes like to do, isn't it?
What the heck did you just say?
If you just shut up and leave this wedding for me right now, I'll play nicely and forget you ever stole anything from me. I'll even forgive you for showing up to my wedding in the first place. So shut up and leave right now. This is supposed to be the wedding for the ace of the company. Me. No lowlife cleaning lady like you should ever be allowed here.
Are you sure you really want me to leave?
I want you out of my life forever, to be honest. If you don't do that for me right now, I'll tell the company everything you've done and have you fired.
Oh, is that what you'll do? Well, if that's the case then, I'm gone. Go right ahead and start your wedding without the groom's mother here.
What? The groom's mother? Huh? What did you just say?
Blaming me for all things I've never did, and pouring a bucket of water all over me like that. I cannot stand being at this stupid wedding anymore anyway. I'm going to leave now.
Wait a second, please. What? This wedding will start without the groom's mother being here? Huh? Are you actually the mother of the man I'm getting married to?
I am. I happen to be Oscar's very important mother. And what does that mean to you?
There's no way that could be possible. Oscar already told me that his parents are divorced. And he's told me that this whole time he's been living with only his dad. And he's said to me that his mother has never been around with him.
I see. Well, the divorce happened back when he was only in first grade, and since then, he has not been able to live with me, so it makes sense that he would be never bring up much about me to you.
Also, he told me that you have been sick. His mother has been sick. And that's the reason why his dad divorced you. I just assumed that if it was the reason for the divorce, that his mother would long gone by now. I never expected for her to still be alive, and for her to end up being you.
I can't believe this. Oscar must have never updated you on anything that's been happening between him and I. Well, perhaps that's just because he's been waiting for the right moment to tell you about me.
Huh?
Just like you'd heard from Oscar, the reason for the divorce is because I was sick at the time. I had always had a really bad immune system, and after giving birth to him, my body only became more vulnerable to things like flu and such. Because of that, I couldn't get all the chores done in the house at all times, and was never able to properly raise Oscar. I just kept leaving more and more in the hands of my husband, and at one point, we decided it would be best to get a divorce.
What?
We had been both thinking about what was best for Oscar. The only thing he ever grew up seeing of me was my poor body always lying around in bed. And at some point, it started to seem like he wasn't getting the proper time he needed with his mother. So I decided with my husband at the time that it would be better for me to leave them and let Oscar grow up with just his father, who would be able to focus more on him.
Are you kidding me?
And then, a while after the divorce, my health started to get back to normal for me. But even with my body getting back to normal again, I still had not been working a job for years. So in order to get back out there and start making money, I chose the job that I've been working up until now. I am able to take time off from this job when I need it, and I like to think that my income is pretty good because of it. As a single woman living on her own, I think I'm able to save up quite a bit of money with my income. No way! I've also really enjoyed having a job that's kept me on my feet so much, and it's fun to watch the places I help clean stay clean. As someone who was always too sick to ever do anything for myself, always having to rely on others to do everything for me, it's nice to finally have a job where I give to others. And because of all the hard work I put in now, I'm thanked by everyone all the time, instead of feeling as though I'm getting in people's ways. I find myself to have a really important job, and will continue to think that no matter how much you try and belittle me for it. But now, I'm having to find out that you're the one marrying my son. I had been trusting that my son would find himself a wonderful woman. But now, I'm in awe.
Wait.
I may have been the one to birth my own son, but I was never there to care for him when he needed a mother like me. So to this day, I always feel as though I'm not good enough to be called his mom. But even with those feelings, he continues to call me mom and says that I never need to worry about the past. He even went ahead and invited me to his wedding as his mother and told me that if I didn't want to be called today, I could sit with the rest of his guests. But I said to him that I was comfortable being his mom at this wedding, and so that's the reason why I'm here now. However, I'm now being kicked out of his wedding like this by his own bride. I feel so sorry that I won't be able to stick around for his wedding. I really should just give up on trying to be a good mother for him, if I can't be here for his big day.
Wait! If you really are his mom, then you can stay. Actually, please don't leave the wedding, okay? You can stay here.
What?
I will help you look for a replacement dress for your now drenched one, alright? So please stay here and wait for me. If you could really do happen to be Oscar's mother, then you don't have to go home and stay right here with us. I want you to be here as his mother, so don't think that you have to go home, alright?
What? Are you sure? I happen to be a low-life cleaning lady after all.
Wait. I'm asking you to please be our guest, so don't say things like that. I will let you stay at the wedding right now, so please forget everything I said about you being a lowlife.
What?
And as for you having to clean my house and the way I treat you at work, I don't want you telling Oscar anything about all of those things for me, please. Alright? Don't you dare say anything to him about any of that. This is the day of my very important wedding. If you ruin it all for me, I will not forgive you.
It's because of you that this wedding is already over. Do you actually think we can proceed with the wedding when you just drench my mom in cold water like that?
What?
And what's this about you not wanting her to tell me any of those things? You're too late to be asking her to refrain from any of that. You always made yourself out to be this really kind and polite woman in front of me. But it turns out you had the most rotten soul I've ever seen. I know everything about the real you now, Layla.
What? Wait. No way this is really you, right? Is this really Oscar?
My mom sent me a message out of nowhere telling me she was heading home, so I came to try and stop her. What the hell is going on here, Layla? Why the hell is my mom drenched even though I invited her to this wedding? Are you actually that rotten of a frickin' human or something?
You have it wrong, Oscar. All of this is a misunderstanding.
Tell me how any of this is even close to a misunderstanding. My mom has been talking to me about all this for a while, and it turns out that the problem for my mom has always been you, Layla.
What?
I don't care that since the divorce I haven't been living with my mom. These past few years, I've always been going other places to eat, and we've been talking for over a decade now. We even talk about the kind of work we're up to and the drama in our lives. I feel like she's not only my mom, but someone that I can call a really close friend of mine.
What? You're lying, right? So you know about everything already.
I sure do. I know about how you've been forcing my mom to go and clean your house for you.
No way.
But by this point, all that doesn't really matter to us anymore. Starting today, I want to talk with you about our futures. This wedding is going to be canceled right now. And after today, you and I can meet in person to talk about what's going on with you.
What?
I want to rethink getting married to you. How could I ever call someone that thinks it's okay to drench their own husband's mother in water like that my wife? All because you think she's a lowlife and doesn't deserve to be here. I can't believe this is actually real right now.
Wait, Oscar, you don't really want the two of us to separate already, right? Especially in the middle of our wedding. Also, I happen to be the daughter of the company's director. My family is loaded with money, so are you really going to want to throw myself and all of that money away?
Who the hell cares that you're the daughter of the company's director? None of that scares me, because he only has power within that company, right?
What?
Also, this marriage has never been about being married to the daughter of a director or her family's money. I've never cared about your family's money, actually. God, I'm so sorry. I know that I haven't cared at all about your family's money and your position, but you happen to care about it a whole lot, right? I'm sure you could never understand what I really wanted in this marriage to you. Not when all you care about is money and power. Now, I'm going to get to it and start telling everyone this wedding is over.
Why would this be happening to me? You have. If you had just gone and told me you were Oscar's mother a lot sooner, then none of this would have to be happening to us.
I heard everything from Oscar. When I got back to him to grab my phone, he said the wedding had been cancelled, and the talks about actually marrying you fell through, right? Oscar was really happy that he chose to save legally marrying you until the wedding was over.
That's not at all though. Both of my parents are pissed at me right now. They are telling me that I'm the embarrassment of their family now. My dad is even asking me to leave the company now.
Is he really? But aren't you supposed to be the company's ace employee or something?
Apparently, I have been thinking too highly of myself for helping with the company's profits for just a tad bit. And now even my dad is thinking twice about my importance within the company. He's blaming me for thinking I was such a good employee for just doing my job now. Saying the way I talked about myself like that makes the company look bad. I have now lost both my job and my would-be husband due all of that. And since I've been living in the company housing this whole time, I'm going to lose my house. Both my parents are asking me to not go home to them either. So what am I going to do?
That's a really tough situation you're in there. Well, hopefully you can figure something out for yourself.
What? You hold it right there. Why do you think you can just walk away from all of this? It's your fault that my life is in ruins right now.
It is most definitely not my fault for any of that. I'm just a low-life cleaning lady is all. You just happen to ruin your own life.
Excuse me? It's because you came to that dang wedding that my whole life is in shambles. That means all of this is on you.
No, it isn't. All of this just so happens to be what you deserve. And to be honest, had I not shown up to the wedding, you would still be getting fired from your job. The company knows about how you've been forcing me to work later by going back to your house to clean for you.
What?
HR had asked me why I was still on the clock working when I wasn't even in the office anymore. So I told them what you had me doing, since you happen to be the ace employee. And well, HR didn't seem to be happy with any of your actions. Remember, Layla, no matter how much you do for the company, you still need to follow the rules.
What? Wait, you have to be lying. They are actually going to fire me for something like that?
I've already been warned a few times not to stay over 40 hours a week, as the company doesn't have the payroll to be paying me overtime. But when I told him it was you who was having me to stay late, they took their eyes off me and began looking at you. However, that's not all, Layla. Another thing that's worsened your situation is the fact that you tend to go online a lot with your work life, talking about how you're such a big shot and that you're able to use one of the company's janitors as your cleaning maid. You really just threw yourself under the bus with all of that and are not going to be able to run away anymore now.
What?
Also, let's not forget about what else you've been doing online. Is it true that you really have been having other people online who are not even a part of the company go through and do your work for you? For example, You have random people making presentations for your work, and you send them information to have made into spreadsheets as well. There happens to be a lot of people out there that'll do work for a small price, and you've taken advantage of that, right? Well, I'm sorry, but things like that aren't very good for the company. When that information you send out happens to be for the company's eyes only. It's crazy to think that this whole time, the ace of the company has been asking other unknown people to do their work for them.
Oh God, no freaking way! I was trying so hard to keep all of that a secret.
Layla, I never, ever stole any of your jewelry from you. But that company USB that I found on the ground of your place, I did happen to take. And the next day, when I got into work, I made sure to hand it over to one of the managers. So I think you being fired was already on the mind of the company, even before yesterday. I understand that you happen to be the daughter of the director of the company, but that does not mean you can start taking sensitive information like that home.
There's no way. I never expected for anyone to find out about all of this.
You've been asking randoms online to take care of all of the work you're supposed to be responsible for. Random people who themselves happen to have decades of office work under their belt. No wonder it looked as though you were doing such impressive work. Now, I'm going to get going. I happen to be just a simple janitor, so all of that high-level company stuff is too complicated for me anyway. Also, please make sure to start cleaning your own home from now again. After that, not only Layla was to be fired for everything she'd be doing while working for the company, but she's also have to pay a major fine for disclosing sensitive information. Of course, her parents never stepped in to help her with paying the company, so she had to find her own way to make sure the company got the money it was asking for. She ended up having to borrow money from the bank, so as of right now, she's been having 2 nights at a place to make anything she can back. As for my son Oscar, he has been very happy to not end up married to a freak like Layla. And he has even been praising me for getting her out of the company as well by telling HR. Right now, I'm praying every day that my son finds a much better woman to make his wife. And while praying for him, I've been keeping up on my job as a janitor for the company, even drawing in new praise from doing wonders when it comes to cleaning the bathrooms.
Hey, Sarah. I hear that you've decided to get married to Andy now, right?
What are you trying to ask me about? I already told you before that he proposed to me and that we got engaged, right? So, of course, I've decided to marry him.
But that was about half a year ago, right? And this whole time since then, you haven't brought him over to see your parents. I haven't even been able to talk with his parents at all about either of you both. Are you guys moving along with all your planning for this marriage all right? I'm sure that me asking you over and over is getting a bit annoying for you, but I'm just a little nervous about what's going on there.
If you feel that you're being annoying right now, then maybe you should stop bugging me all the time. And by the way, Andy has already met with the family, and his parents were able to meet with Dad just last week.
What? He came over to our house already? And last week his parents got to meet with your dad?
I'm so sorry, Jill. I don't really want to have Andy meeting with you. So I made sure to have him over here as well as have his parents meet with Dad, all while you were at work.
Huh?
So now that you're aware of all that, preparations for our marriage are going fine, so stop worrying about me now. We are able to get everything done as long as you keep your nose out of it.
Hold it right there, Sarah. What do you mean you did all of that stuff on days I was at work? And what's this about you not even wanting me to meet him? Why would you not want me meeting him?
You already know the reason for that. You are not my real mom.
What?
I never told Andy that my dad ended up getting married to another woman. So having him meet you now would be a whole lot of explaining I'd have to do on my part, and that's a pain.
Well, why haven't you told him anything about how your dad got remarried? It's not like having a parent who has gotten remarried is a rare thing these days, right?
Huh? Are you being serious right now? Even if having a parent get remarried isn't very rare anymore, it brings up all kinds of red flags. People begin to wonder if things are okay between both the parents. And some people will want to know why my real mother isn't around anymore. I don't want onlookers to start questioning about things like that. I hate that.
I understand that there will be people that will ask those sorts of questions. You do have to be a little more open with people when it comes to your past. But nothing bad ever happened with you in the past, and for as far back as I can remember, I've been your real mom. I would be able to explain things for you as well if you want, and I'm sure that Andy and his parents will understand. They most likely won't even care that I'm not your biological mother.
Stop acting like all of that could be so easy. There's still a chance that Andy or his parents see this family as a broken one and think that there's something wrong with me before running off, right? They will learn about how my actual mother threw me away after I was born. They will think I'm a child not worth being loved. And then what will I be able to do about it?
All you have to do is tell them things are fine with you. You and I can even tell them that for the past 20 years now, you've had me as your mother and you've been a wonderful daughter for me. Tell them that as of right now, our family is full of love. And actually, if they really were to have issues with you not being with your biological mother now, then they are not probably worth being family to.
Stop messing around. Andy thinks that I'm a 1 in a million girl and the best woman for him right now. And to me, I feel the same way because he's from a famous university, is becoming a doctor now, and has lots of money. I will not allow a man like him to get away from me. I'm going to get married to this man no matter what.
Then you'd better hurry things up, Missy, and explain that your dad is married to me and that I've been like your mom for 20 years now. I know it may be difficult to say them now, but I promise it's easier to explain now than it will be later. There really is no reason to hide something like this from him and his family. Please explain the truth to Andy right now.
Hawk, shut up already. I have this all thought out already, so shut up. You're not even my real mom, so stop trying to give me freaking advice. All you are is some old hag that's just been living with me and my dad in this freaking house for 20 years.
Whoa there, what did you just say to me?
Just don't say anything to my fiancé or his family, okay? If you go telling him about yourself behind my back, then I will seriously make you regret that choice for the rest of your life.
Pardon me for texting you so late at night. Would this happen to be Jill's phone number I'm texting right now? You should be Sarah's current mother, right?
And who is this that I'm talking to?
Sorry for not saying that at the beginning. I happen to be Sarah's biological mother, Beverly, but you can call me Bev for short.
What? So you're Christian's ex-wife then?
That's right. I had actually just heard about how Sarah will be getting married. I have some things I wanted to say about that, hence me texting you now.
Some things to say about it?
Well, more like I have a favor to ask you, rather. Could I please ask that you go and tell Sarah to stop talking to me from now on? I have been trying to tell her that myself for so many times now, but she seems to think that I'm only asking that to keep distance as the ex-wife. No matter how many times I tell her to stop, she just keeps texting and calling me. It's beginning to become a little too excessive.
I'm sorry about that, but can you explain to me in a little more detail what's going on here? I'm not really sure why you guys have been talking in the first place either.
Let me explain things a bit more. I'm sure hearing all of this from someone like me for the first time is a bit too much to handle. Well, let's get started with how this all started. Let's start with how all this started. A few months ago now, Sarah began contacting me out of nowhere. She wanted to tell me that she was going to be getting married.
What? So Sarah went ahead and told you about that?
I'm surprised by that myself, considering I had her right before I divorced her father. I was happy at the time for her contacting me, though, after it's been 2 decades. And so I replied back to her saying congratulations and all that. But since then, she just keeps on texting and calling me nonstop. She's been trying to ask me to go to meet her fiancé, and she wants me to meet his parents as well. She's even wanting to ask me to come to her wedding now, and that's just too much for me. I'm stumped right now because I don't know what else I can do here.
Really?
Of course I've said no to everything she's asked me to do. There's no way a woman like me should have anything to do with her marriage. She shouldn't even remember who I am, considering I left when she was still so small. And I think for someone like you who has raised her for 20 years now, her asking me to be her mom is very rude.
Could you slow down there for a second? Did Sarah really invite you to meet her fiancé and his family as well as to her wedding?
Yes, she really did. That's why I wanted you to have a talk with her, considering you should be the one dealing with all those things. I've even explained to her to have you meet his parents and be at the wedding, but she continues to want me there instead.
I just want to check with you on this. But you and Sarah don't have a bad relationship with one another.
What?
I'm sorry for asking that out of the blue, but you were the one that blew Sarah away when she was still young, right? You ended up staying for a little bit, but just before she entered elementary school, you left her to her dad. I just can't imagine how she would still see you as her mother when you did that to her and wants you to be at her wedding.
I understand that what happened back then was very selfish and wrong of me, but I was not the one that ended up leaving him. They both were the ones that forced me to leave.
What?
So having to talk with someone like Sarah again about how she wants me after her wedding is heartbreaking for me. After all that I had to go through with her dad and her before I was forced away, I really don't get why she wants me back now. She's acting like all those terrible things they did to me 20 years ago is all forgotten now, and that's really upsetting me.
Wait a second. So it was those two that made you leave? You weren't the one who just gave up on caring for Sarah and left one day without telling them?
So that's how they have been explaining it to you?
So far, that's the only way I've remembered the story. Sarah always tells everyone about how you threw her away and left her with her dad. And Christian is always saying that it was his ex's fault that Sarah is always so rude.
Those two really only care about their own image. Well, so much time has gone by since then that I don't care how they talk about me. Just understand that I don't want anything to do with her marriage. So would you please tell her that for me? Please and thank you.
Sarah, what is going on here? I just arrived at the wedding venue and the staff are telling me I can't go in. They keep telling me I'm not invited to this wedding and that I need to go away.
Sorry about that, Jill. But now that you see I mean business, I need my fake mommy to go away, please. Make sure you get out of here quickly so my fiance's family don't see who you are.
Huh? Fake mommy?
I really wanted my real mom to be at my wedding day, so I thought that I never tell him about how dad got married to you after my mom ran off. And so far, I've done a great job of hiding you from all of them, right? That's why I wanted you getting as far away from here as possible today, so you don't screw things up for me. I don't need a person like you here today.
I can't believe you, Sarah. You have all these things you should be talking about with your fiancé, yet it's now the day of your guys' wedding and you haven't explained a single thing.
I have no desire to explain things to him and his family that comes with potential risks. I really want this wedding to go well and for me to be married to this guy.
Well, your wedding is going to fail if you don't explain this to them. You can turn me away all you want, but that's not going to make your actual mother show up today.
She's going to come here. I already went and sent her an invitation to this wedding as well, and she said okay to coming today.
What?
It might have been 20 years now since we've last seen one another, but I knew her being my real mom meant she wanted to be here to see me. And even Dad said he's supporting me on my choice today. This wedding will be totally fine even with you sitting back at home.
So even Christian is supporting having his ex-wife here? I wonder what that should mean to me now. Who am I to the both of you then? Because originally I thought that I was your mom after I spent 20 years of my life raising you. Yet now you're saying I can't be here to see your wedding today?
That's exactly what I'm saying. Actually, I have never once thought of you as my mom in any way.
What?
All you are to me is the fake mother my dad dragged into our house. Dad just needed someone to be around the house and do all the chores after my mom left. That's why he ended up marrying you and letting you sleep with us. He might have called you his wife, but I have never thought of you as my mom.
Sarah, are you sure that's what you really want to be saying right now? I understand that you don't have to call me your real mom or anything like that. But I have raised you for 2 decades now as my daughter and deserve at least a little respect for that. I wanted to help both your dad and you out, and that's why I spent so long putting in a ton of effort. So how are you able to say something so cruel to me?
You really need to shut up again. Just go the hell home already, you old hag. Nobody needs you here. I invited my actual mom to be here today, so get lost. You're not even on the list of guests who should be here today.
All right then, I'm leaving.
Bye-bye now, you old fart. Now that you're useless to everyone here, you can go and live out the rest of your life on the couch watching soap operas on TV. We'll all be here today enjoying my wedding as I have fun with my real mom and dad.
I will say, though, that you won't be making any good memories at that wedding today. And once you've experienced all of that, good luck taking care of the mess on your own.
Huh? What the hell are you talking about? What do you mean I'll only be making bad memories today?
I would like you to learn about that firsthand. Now I'm going home. But it's probably going to suck going straight back home from here. I'll go stop somewhere and grab a bite to eat or something beforehand.
What am I going to do, Jill? My real mom isn't coming to my wedding today.
Oh my, what could that be? You already told me how she said okay to coming today, right?
I want to ask the same freaking thing. It's past time for her to be here with me, and I've tried calling her 15 times now, but the call just immediately ends every time. And then when I finally thought that I got a text from her, all she was doing was telling her that she didn't want to come, so she's not coming.
Well, that's too bad.
There's no way this is happening. I went through all that trouble to invite her, and she went and canceled last minute on me. I guess my mom has still not learned her dang lesson yet. What the hell does she mean by never giving me an answer to the invitation and that I just assumed she'd come? She has no right saying that to me after canceling just now.
What? So she never actually said okay to coming there today? Yet you just assumed she'd be coming?
Of course I assumed she'd come. She was the one that gave birth to me, right? This is the wedding of her daughter she spent 9 months making. Is there really a mom like that who would cancel last minute on the day of her daughter's wedding after all the trouble of giving birth to her?
There really is a mom like that though, Sarah. So would you please stop your whining and just have your wedding? I will never go to your wedding today, so stop it.
What?
I'm sorry for interrupting your little temper tantrum here. I wasn't really paying any attention and accidentally picked up Jill's phone.
What? Wait a second. Is this you, Mom? What? Is this really you, Mom? My real mom? The one that gave birth to me?
Yes, it's me. And right now, I'm here with Jill having some drinks at this restaurant. We just ordered our lunches and will soon to be having some really good food with our mimosas. So would you please stop interrupting us?
Wait. What's going on here? Why is my mom and Jill having lunch right now with one another? Today is the day of my wedding, and you cancel last minute to go out for lunch with her?
I did not cancel last minute, you brat. I said long ago that I wouldn't be coming by never RSVPing to your wedding. You're the only one who thought that I'd be there today, just by assuming I said okay.
Really? Hold on a second. I can't keep up with what's going on here. I want to know why the hell the both of you are having lunch together. You are my real mom, and that woman is my fake mom, right? My dad's ex-wife and his current wife? You guys have never met one another before, yet you're going out for lunch right now?
Jesus Christ, would you comment? You're like a spastic little rat right now, texting so quickly and including so many exclamation points. Now, I'm happy that you recognize the obvious thing, because I'm your dad's ex and she's his current wife. And as for what you're confused about, this is actually our first time meeting one another in person.
Huh? So, it really is your first time?
You and Jill were just talking to one another a little bit ago, right? Well, she got tired of dealing with you and started to text me. She wanted to inform me that she was not allowed in your wedding and had to go home. So she then had the great idea of inviting me out to eat. She didn't want to go back home to just sit there and text with you all day after how annoying you've already been. So I was asked if I wanted to come out and have some lunch and mimosas, and of course I couldn't say no to that.
So that's how you both met up today and are having lunch together now? Why the hell did you both know one another's phone number though? I have no idea how that can just happen.
Stop yelling, please. You want to know how? I spent a lot of time looking around for her phone number, and then I asked her a favor over text. I asked for her to tell you to stop texting and calling me for good.
Huh?
Well, no matter how many times I told you to stop talking to me, you just kept coming. So I asked her to please make sure you stopped all of that. I tried to be nice to you by saying I didn't want to talk anymore, but every time you'd say for your real mom to not be so mean to you. And that I didn't need to worry about being your dad's ex-wife. Just those two responses over and over and over again. I had enough and had to ask Jill to shut you the hell up.
What? Wait a second. Mom, you actually went and texted Jill? You didn't tell her anything you weren't supposed to, right?
Oh, well, could you explain to me right now what those things I wasn't supposed to tell her was? Are you talking about how you went and asked for me to meet your fiancé's parents instead of with your mom that's been raising you? Or that whole lie you and your dad have been telling everyone about me throwing you both away? When really, it was you two that kicked me out of your lives and told me to get lost. Were those the kinds of things I wasn't supposed to tell her?
Hold on.
Oh, wait. So you just thought that I might have forgotten to say anything about the details? Because from what you guys were telling Jill, I was a terrible wife and mother that never did any of the chores or took good enough care of you, right? Even though I worked my ass off for the both of you to be happy, and yet you still both talked down to me all this time, even after your dad divorced me and kicked me out of the house.
Wait, please. I'm asking you to please not tell any of that to Jill for me.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Sarah. Jill already knows every single detail about that now.
What?
After I told her all of this, she was kind enough to fill me in on all the things you were lying about regarding me. Things like how your dad would tell her that I was to blame for you being a little brat, and that I was the one who divorced your dad and left you both without saying anything. But guess what? Even after 20 years of hearing that from the both of you regarding me, she knew something was up, and when I reached out to her, she said you guys were really lying to her.
You're lying. You really went and talked about all that with Jill already?
Yes, I made sure that conversation didn't end until she knew everything about me. I told her then about how the reason you've always been such a pile of crap is because your father raised you to hate the housewife like myself. And when he could have done something to prevent you from getting carried away with all that name-calling and abuse, he just sat there laughing. His reason for just laughing and not saying for you to stop was that he didn't want you to start hating him. And so he just went along with you and continued to dig into me. I told Jill about all those days of my life where I had to live through hell with you two, and all the details with that. And it seems that the two of you still talk crap about me even though it's been 20 freaking years. What? Jill listened very closely to everything I told her, and when she would tell me each time how you both would change those stories to make me look like the bad guy. Both you and Christian are so amazing at making every little story seem like you guys did nothing wrong at all and you were just victims. And Jill had believed for so long that you guys were being honest with her. And on top of that, she raised you for those 20 years as though you were her real daughter. Yet, you just went and told her she wasn't allowed at your wedding and sent her away. You really have not changed one bit since the day I was forced to leave. I knew right from the moment you started to talk to me again about how you were getting married that I should not go to your wedding. And that was the correct choice by a long shot.
Don't say something like that, please. Please come here. I will apologize to you later for all that happened back then. So please, if you come to this wedding and I won't make fun of you or talk bad about you anymore. Why would you say you don't want to be here when you're my real mother?
Wow, I would love to say those exact things to the past you. Why would you treat me so poorly and call me terrible names when you're my real daughter? Day by day, I was called a useless old hag by you, and day by day, I was treated like your slave. I will never forget all the terrible things you've done to me, and I will never forgive you.
No, Mom.
Now, you have yourself one hell of a wedding. Us two moms will be enjoying ourselves a few dissenters of mimosas and talking about how much fun being a divorced woman is.
Please, Jill. Right now it's fine that you be my mom, so please come to the wedding. Right now my fiancé and his parents are all asking to see my mom. I can't keep them fooled any longer, so please come here quickly.
Why do you still need to fool them anyway, though? Tell them that you had the mom who raised you for 20 years turned away from your wedding. And then tell them that your real mom that gave birth to you hates your guts and will not be coming.
You think I can say something like that to them? Listen, even Dad is wanting to apologize to you. He keeps saying that he's sorry for always making you take care of me all these years as well.
It's too late for you guys to be apologizing now. He was even okay with you turning me away from your wedding. So there's really no turning back from that for either of you.
He only agreed and supported me because I told him to.
There we go. There we go. That's the thing I've always hated about your father and that Bev was talking about. He will never say no or go against anything you say. I know you might not have been aware of this, but I've been having a really bad time with you both. But every time I'd go to your dad and ask him about your attitude, he'd tell me it's all his ex's fault you're such a brat and to not get upset with you. The thing is, though, he can blame Bev all he wants, but he was raising you alongside her all that time, so what the hell was he really doing there?
Jill? What happened to you? What happened to the really nice Jill I always really knew?
That Jill died about 20 years ago and has been living as a ghost inside me for the past 2 decades. But she was set free by Bev, and now you're left with the real Jill.
What?
She had stuck around as a ghost all that time because she was still believing in the dream that died along with her. That dream of having a loving family that would respect her for all the effort she put in. But all these years, you both have done nothing but treat me like crap, even making sure to talk about your real mom like trash. Well, since the nice ghost is long gone now, you're left with the real Jill, who can easily tell you're both not worth my time anymore. And now, let me introduce you to your dad's second divorce. Congratulations, woohoo! Now would you tell him that for me?
What? Another divorce?
Now neither Bev nor myself have to be your mother, and neither of us have any reason to be at your wedding. So now that you're aware of that, don't talk to me ever again.
But, wait, you can at least divorce my dad, but at least come to my wedding and help me out here. This is your daughter who you've raised for 20 years, wedding, you know. Are you trying to say that you're fine with this whole wedding being ruined now?
I want your wedding to go up in flames. Goodbye forever now, you little brat. Now that it's past 12, Bev and I are cracking open a bottle of champagne and are getting wasted to celebrate. As for what happened at Sarah's wedding right after that, she tried to explain the truth of what happened to her fiancé and his parents. But after telling them about how she had her mother of 20 years turned away from the wedding, all because she didn't want her fiancé knowing about her dad getting remarried 20 years ago, they stood there in disbelief. Then both of her fiancé's parents looked her in the eye and said the wedding was off, and that their son would not be marrying a lying, selfish, ungrateful woman such as herself. The wedding was then canceled officially, and as everyone was leaving, Sarah tried to convince her fiancé to stay with her, only for him to say that he could never see himself marrying such a bitch, before turning away and running out. Then the cost of that whole wedding ended up falling on Sarah's shoulder, making her the one responsible for paying it off. When it comes to myself, right after that fiasco was over, I told my husband that the divorce was happening, and not a day later we were officially separated. Then I left that house of theirs and am now sharing a house with my new friend Bev. Back when we had that lunch together, under the influence of a lot of alcohol, we agreed that after I left Christian, I should move into her place. So that's what we did after that divorce, and I have to say every day here has been wonderful with her so far.
Thank you for watching all the way until the end. If you felt good after watching this video, please like the video. If not, please leave a comment and give us your feedback. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Your comments and likes help this channel grow. We hope you enjoy our other stories as well.